before Kevin McCarthy got the gavel on Saturday, early Saturday morning, there was a whole process there in terms of Democrats, Republicans coming out, and the Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries, he spoke first. And folks, when I say Kevin McCarthy took his 16th L, imagine losing all those rounds, and then you get to then follow Hakeem Jeffries after the speech that he gave, where he let everybody know how Democrats, what they've done in the past, and how they're going to operate in the future. Here is his speech in its entirety.
Madam Clerk, Whip Clark, distinguished members of the House Democratic Caucus and the House Republican Conference, it's my high honor and distinct privilege to finally be able to welcome all of you to the 118th Congress. Let me just begin by thanking my good friend, Pete Aguilar, for his very generous words of introduction and for placing my name into nomination a total of 9 times. And I also want to thank my other colleagues from the Democratic Caucus for your generous words of nomination as well. Jim Clyburn, Catherine Clark, Ted Lieu, Dean Phillips, Joe Neguse, and Veronica Escobar. I also want to thank my colleagues, my friends in the House Democratic Caucus for your perseverance, for your strength, for your friendship, for your unanimity of purpose, and for your unanimous support. And I simply want to say that that showing of strength is not for any one particular individual. It will be a showing of strength throughout the 118th Congress, unanimity of purpose on behalf of the American people. Before I proceed any further, let me begin by acknowledging the distinguished gentle lady from the great state of California, the iconic, the heroic, the legendary Speaker Emerita, Nancy D'Alessandro Pelosi. And without question in my mind, Speaker Emerita Pelosi will go down in history as the greatest speaker of all time. Throughout her time in Congress, she's been a legendary legislator, a fabulous facilitator, and a no-nonsense negotiator. We know that Nancy Pelosi is a woman of faith, a loving wife, a mother of 5, a grandmother of 9, a defender of democracy, a voice for the voiceless, and a powerful champion for the children, the climate, Charm City, California, the caucus, the Congress, the country, and the Constitution. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for all that you have done. It's an honor to stand on your broad shoulders, as well as the shoulders of the great Steny Hoyer and the great Jim Clyburn, 2 consequential leaders in their own right. Now, the scripture says in Galatians, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Over the last 2 years, House Democrats, in partnership with President Biden and our colleagues in the Senate, have been hard at work on behalf of the American people, getting big things done. We passed the American Rescue Plan, saved the economy from a deep recession, put shots in arms, money in pockets, and kids back in school. We passed the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act to create millions of good-paying jobs, fix our crumbling bridges, roads, tunnels, our airports, a sewer and water system, our mass transportation systems, and ensure high-speed internet access in every single community. We passed gun safety legislation for the first time in 30 years that will save lives and make our communities safer. We passed the CHIPS and Science Act to bring domestic manufacturing jobs back home to the United States of America and ensure that our workforce has the skills to succeed in the 21st century economy. And we passed the Inflation Reduction Act to strike a dramatic blow against the climate crisis, set our planet on a sustainable trajectory forward, lower energy costs, strengthen the Affordable Care Act, lower health care costs, and drive down the high price of life-saving prescription drugs for millions of Americans. It was one of the most consequential Congresses in American history. President Biden gets the job done, and the D in Democrat stands for deliver. So over the next 2 years, over the next 2 years, as we begin this 118th Congress, let us continue to fight for lower costs. Let us continue to fight in this Congress for better paying jobs. Let us continue to fight in this Congress for safer communities. Let us continue to fight in this Congress to defend democracy. Let us continue to fight in this Congress to put and protect the public interest. Let us continue to fight in this Congress for economic opportunity in every single zip code. And let us continue to fight in this Congress for reproductive freedom. Because as Democrats, we do believe in a country for everyone.
My panel, Leon Malvo, I'm a Congo Dabinga, Representative Renita Shannon. I got a couple of minutes before I go to break. Real quick here, Congo. It was to watch him lay out what Democrats have done. Republicans, the reason he kept stopping because Republicans were not happy, were jeering him. All he did was tell the truth.
All he did was tell the truth, man. It was the A to Z's of democracy. I mean, the way he laid it all down. And he's just so cool with it, man. It's like you don't really know that you're just getting these jabs thrown at you. It's like, bam, bam, bam. But really, at the end of the day, you just got to respect what the brother did, what he continued to do, and what all of the Democrats have done to have those continued unanimous votes. And I'm glad you had the congressman on earlier because the Democrats have made it clear that they are not going to stop fighting. They're going to keep doing the work for the American people. They are a big tent. You got everybody who are on the more conservative side, and then you got people down to the AOCs and the Rashida Tlaibs. I mean, they see what the larger purpose is. And really, the Republicans have shown full out in front of everybody that they do not have the ability to govern, that they are petty, that they are evil, and they are vindictive. And they spent all of that time fighting over who's going to have the right to investigate Hunter Biden. That's what they gave the American people. And so we need to continue to fight. We need to continue to support Jefferies and everybody else who was there, because at the end of the day, in these 2 years, we got to continue building the case to be able to get them out in the next election.
All right, folks, here's the rest of the speech from Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader, now Democratic minority leader, took place early Saturday morning in the nation's capital.
We do believe in a country for everyone, a country that provides for the poor, works for working families, makes sense for the middle class, stands up for senior citizens, innovates in the inner city, strengthens suburban communities, helps out the heartland, and revitalizes rural America. We believe in a country with liberty and justice for all, equal protection under the law, free and fair elections, and yes, we believe in a country with the peaceful transfer of power. We believe that in America, our diversity is a strength. It is not a weakness. An economic strength, a competitive strength, a cultural strength. Our diversity is a strength. It is not a weakness. We are a gorgeous mosaic of people from throughout the world. As John Lewis would sometimes remind us on this floor, we may have come over on different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. We are white, we are black, we are Latino, we are Asian, we are Native American, we are Christian, we are Jewish, we are Muslim, we are Hindu, we are religious, we are secular, we are gay, we are straight, we are young, we are older, we are women, we are men, we are citizens, we are dreamers. Out of many, we are one. That's what makes America a great country. And no matter what kind of haters are trying to divide us, we're not going to let anyone take that away from us. Not now, not ever. This is the United States of America, a land of opportunity. The fact that I'm able to stand up here today is another data point in that narrative. I was born in Brooklyn Hospital, raised in a working class neighborhood in Crown Heights, grew up in the Cornerstone Baptist Church, started off in the cradle roll department, somehow survived the violence of the crack cocaine epidemic, and wound up here in the United States Congress as the highest ranking Democrat in the House of Representatives. America, truly a land of opportunity. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So on this first day, let us commit to the American dream, a dream that promises that if you work hard and play by the rules, you should be able to provide a comfortable living for yourself and for your family, educate your children, purchase a home, and one day retire with grace and dignity. Let us commit on this first day to lift up the American dream for every single person in this nation. Now, I recognize that this is a moment of transition. As we transition from one Congress to the next, from one majority to the next, from a year of accomplishment to a year of ambiguity, a moment of transition. The American people, understandably, after the events of this week, recognize that the Congress is at a fork in the road and are asking the question, what direction will we choose? On this first day, I do not pretend to answer that question on behalf of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, but we do extend our hand of partnership to you and want to make clear that we extend and intend to try to find common ground whenever and wherever possible on behalf of the American people. Not as Democrats, not as Republicans, not as independents, but as Americans. But I also want to make clear that we will never compromise our principles. House Democrats will always put American values over autocracy, benevolence over bigotry, the Constitution over the cult, democracy over demagogues, economic opportunity over extremism, freedom over fascism, governing over gaslighting, hopefulness over hatred, inclusion over isolation, justice over judicial overreach, knowledge over kangaroo courts, liberty over limitation, maturity over Mar-a-Lago, normalcy over negativity, opportunity over obstruction, people over politics, quality of life issues over QAnon, reason over racism, substance over slander, triumph over tyranny, understanding over ugliness, voting rights over voter suppression, working families over the well-connected, xenial over xenophobia, yes we can over you can't do it, and zealous representation over zero-sum confrontation. We will always do the right thing by the American people. So let us not grow weary of doing good, for the American people will reap the benefit of the harvest if we do not give up. God bless you, God bless the House, and God bless the United States of America.
Julian, I love that Kevin McCarthy had to stand there and listen and watch the whole time. The Republicans were pretty pissed.
They might have been pissed, but they got taken to school. And that's the bottom line. I think Hakeem Jeffries is time enough for them. It's going to be very interesting, though, Roland, as you talk to Omakongo and before that, the congressman from Louisiana about what's going on. This was a circus. I hope everybody brought their popcorn. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing, Roland, for me is really being concerned about entitlements and Social Security. More than 50% of Black women who are over 65 years old, me too, basically depend on Social Security as their sole source of pension money. More than half. So when this boy goes around talking about he's going to cut entitlements, I'm counting on Hakeem Jeffries with his poetic pushback to say, oh, hell no, because that's what's going to happen. They have been plotting on this for a very long time. And I know that anything they do has to go to the Senate, go to the president. But the attack on entitlements is really what that 45th president, the orange orangutan, and his friends, they've been holding up their phone talking about, please come talk to him. This is toxic, and it really is an attack not only on all Americans, but especially on Black Americans.
Renita?
Yeah, you know, Hakeem Jeffries started out his tenure by saying that this was a new day in the House, a new day for Democrats, which we frequently hear Democrats say. And, you know, typically then we sort of get the same results. And I'm always in the camp of what Democrats can be doing, what they need to be doing more of, because I've seen the inside and I see where we fight and when we don't fight. But what people really need to understand is Hakeem Jeffries is putting his money where his mouth is. People do not understand how hard it was what he just accomplished. So let me break it down for you. Typically, Democrats...
About 30 seconds. If I go to the break, go.
in the minority, they will put up a Democrat for speaker, but then not all Democrats typically vote for that Democrat that they put up. Yes, you have Democrats who will vote for the Republican for speaker. It has been more than a decade since all Democrats hung together and actually voted for the minority leader, their Democrat that they put up. So he has to be commended. And I do believe him when he says it's a new day.
It is. And so, again, I love to see the feistiness and, of course, walking it through A to Z. You ought to see some of the memes where they actually put Nas's Ether to that music to what Hakeem did there. So pretty cool.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Checks and money orders go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com.